Good morning, everyone. It's not too bad out today. It's a little humid, but the temperature is down and it's not sunny, which is kind of nice because we've been in some really bad heat. Indexes of 116 and hot. Okay, the beans are looking good, and I tied up Matt's cherry tomato plant, and beans are blooming or budding up. We got buds starting to bloom. Zinnias are still looking pretty, even when the heat. They keep putting on more. And I just finally found a bud on this dahlia just now. It's gotten so tall. I can't wait to see what it is. All my others have been yellow, so I'm hoping for a little bit different color or maybe a little bit different variety. And this osteospermum, I think it's what it's called. I hope I didn't kill that name too bad, but look how pretty. It's starting to bloom out. And I have a volunteer marigold, and looking good. I have a new idea for next spring, and I'm going to start this fall. This is supposed to be the veggie garden, and this is the strawberry garden, and this is the flower garden. It used to be all wildflowers, just from native plants alongside the road. I'd stop, grab some blooms if there was something there I liked, and put a little wrapper and bring it home and throw it in the garden. And I got a lot of really nice flowers, really pretty flowers, a lot of nice cut flowers. I like cut flowers. I like doing arrangements and having a vase of flowers on my kitchen table and maybe a couple other places in the house. But these are tomatoes. I planted them behind my flower garden this year, and they are an old variety. Usually I plant big boys or beefsteak, but not this year. These are Rugers. They're an old variety, and they are a little more meaty. They are making a ton of tomatoes, and they have a really good flavor. My husband loves them. Looks like I've got some to pick today, so I'm gonna have to share with someone. My lilies, I have lilies in the back, and I try to keep my columbine along the side. And then I have a tick seed, and I have purple cone flowers. I have a dahlia from seed, and I have cosmos. And I want to tell you something. The other day I just noticed, because I was about ready to pick this up and put it on a stick. Well, my kitties like to hide in here and lay down when it's hot. They can take a reprieve here in the garden. I went to pull it up, and it's rooting off the stem. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if it'll do very good, but it looks like it's gonna start growing some other stems, from it. So that's kind of cool. And this fall I have some, my Sweet Williams. They're so pretty in the spring. They're a dianthus. And this chrysanthemum, I had bought from the little grocery store here in town, and I had it out front. This had been like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 5, and it looked dead, so I just brought it out in here and just put it in the ground, and every year it comes up real pretty with white blooms, and so it'll be blooming in the fall. And a couple more zinnias that I had some extra seeds, so I just threw it in here because I didn't have anything there anymore. I do have hyacinths, mini grape hyacinths that grow up front here, and I try to keep them up here. But sometimes things spread around, so I need to revamp it a little bit this year and put things back where they belong in certain areas. And look, I have cosmos that are budding. They got some nice buds on them. Cool. And I have black-eyed Susans, and I have, I don't know, I have quite a few things that grow in here at different times. So, but my big exciting thing this fall is these strawberries grow quickly. We got like 10 plants, I don't know, 8-9 years ago from our neighbor, and it turned into a 12 by 12 strawberry patch. And I'm always giving them away, so digging them up every year, giving some away. And but this year I'm gonna cut this back about 1.5 feet on each side, so it'll make my veggie garden bigger and it'll make my flower garden bigger. And then I'm gonna just try to make it so they're not so dense, and that may come in the spring when they grow a lot. And because in the springtime they just go crazy growing, so I may thin them out this fall, or I may do it in the spring. We'll see how things go, because I have other plans too. I just ordered a ton of seed of different plants, things I've never grown before, and I'm gonna take this out around, make this bigger, and maybe start here and maybe swing it around almost to the tree, and then bring it back out in front a little more, and then bring it back around to here. Not exactly like that, but you kind of get my drift. I may put more of a curve, a swoop in here, a little more of a swoop, and then back around and over here. But you get my drift. I'm going to make my garden bigger, and because I have a lot of seeds to plant for the winter time when I get bored, January, February, March, I'll be planting them in pots and getting them to grow, and then plant them out here and put them in places. So when I get my seeds, I should have them within a week, I would think. I will show you what all I have. I have a lot of real pretty stuff coming. It'll be, I have salvia, some plants called gazinias, and a butterfly bushes, and there's several seeds in some of these. So I may be sharing with some of my neighbors, and I have a few friends that are starting to get into gardening, and I may share with them. So, but anyway, yeah, we've had a problem with the Japanese beetles this year, and I got the bags, and some people's like, oh, no, no, don't do that. You'll bring in tons. And they say that Japanese beetles will come for this lure up to 10 miles away. And we've had a lot. We've emptied these bags many times, and but I think the lures are starting to get a little bit weak, because I've noticed a lot more of them on my plants. But I have one more new one that I'm going to put out, and it should run me through the rest of the season, because they die out usually around September, when it starts to cool off. So hopefully that's so, and I can. But the thing of it is, this is the good thing, is that when I put one on each side of my garden, they don't tend to get into my garden as much. You know, I'll find one here or there, very rare, but other than that, they don't eat my dahlia blooms, because that was my problem. They were eating my whole dahlia blooms and the leaves on my plants and stuff like that, and I just like, oh, I gotta do something. So that's what I did, and I do it again. So my neighbors can thank me later, because I'm sure they have none. So I'll show you around a little bit. I always have lots of petunias. I just love petunias. And they're all still doing well. Keep them cut back and they regrow. They rebloom. This one I had to cut back quite a bit. It's getting kind of icky in the middle, but it's still blooming. I'll still leave her in here, and it's cooling off this week a little bit too, so that'll help it. And I have a cactus, and this was his first full year, and a friend of mine gave me like 5 plaques of it, and you just basically throw it on the ground, on the dirt, and it'll grow. This is what I had this year. It grew a lot. And this is an eargum. I never planted this before either. It's a perennial, and when it blooms, it's supposed the petals on it are supposed to be like feathers, feather-like. But I'm thinking that it probably needs another year in the ground for it to really do its thing. The stems have kind of turned purple, because it is a purple coneflower. So, but you know what? The honeybees loved it, so that's fine. And it is kind of a cool plant. It's kind of cool looking. But I would have loved to seen it bloom. I couldn't wait to see it bloom, but I came to grips that it's probably going to be next year. Hopefully it'll do what it's supposed to do and give me some feathered petals. Anyway, and my hibiscus, which has got aphids on it, and I'm luckily getting a bud, and I'm hoping that it will go ahead and bloom, because it is very pretty. And they're clinging to it, so I don't really have aphids on much of anything else except a few of the sunflowers. But they're big enough and strong enough. I'll just let them bloom out, and when they're done, I'll chop them down, pull them up. So, and that's that. And I don't think I've ever had aphids before. I don't know, this just must be a buggy year. They say we're going to have a rough winter, a very cold winter. So maybe it's due to kill off some of these bugs. And then in next spring, probably early June, I'm going to put down grub granules to try to deter those beetles, Japanese beetles. So Oh, this is a bookcase that I painted a couple days ago, and I'm gonna have to get my son over here to help me get it back in the house. I don't know, it feels like it's gonna rain, but I don't know. So anyway, other than that, I'm excited about getting some new seeds and some new bulbs to put in this fall. I'm ready for fall. After that really hot weather the last couple of weeks, man, it was just hot. And you know, it's terrible because I love being outside. I love sitting outside, but we have a lot of work ahead of us this fall. We need to cut back our cedar trees and take out the bottom limbs so we can get a lawnmower back in there, because there's been so many vines and mulberry trees. Oh my gosh, just too many things that are growing up in our cedar trees, and just, you know, kind of destroying some of them, or they will be destroyed if we don't do something. So, and let's see, I do have some flowers up front, and I'm planning on doing something different up there as well and revamping it, putting in some different flowers and plants out front, but I will show you that in another video. I'm kind of tired today. Unfortunately, I fell asleep way too early on the couch last night, and that's not always good because then I get up in the middle of the night and I'm wide awake. So, but anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Please share and subscribe, like my videos, please. And we'll have some, it's kind of quiet right now. Everything's grown up, and I'm harvesting a little bit here and there. I'm doing arrangements and stuff with the cut flowers. But other than that, it's just sitting back, kind of enjoying them. So, y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.